Welcome back to the channel. As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. We're building this channel up one day at a time, one video at a time. So if you know somebody who's looking for some investing shows or podcasts to tune into, share my channel with them. I would really appreciate it. And as always, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. But look, let's get right into it. We're doing an ETF, the ETF portfolio update. And this is the ETF portfolio that we are building from scratch, right? You're seeing this portfolio built from the bottom, and you're going to watch it grow over time. And I think it was very important to do this ETF portfolio tracker just to show how you can build a portfolio from the bottom and watch it grow over time, because a lot of people think, stock market is a scam, or you have people that think, it's just not real, or, they don't have the patience to really see the benefits of letting the stock market do this work for you. So, in my opinion, the stock market is the equalizer. It's the equalizer for the average person to get in and generate wealth for them and their family. So this portfolio is very important to me, to watch it grow, to build it up over time. So I just wanted to share with you guys that journey. So we're going to jump right into the tracker or the update to see how we did from this past week. So let's go here. And here we are. So we're going to jump right into it. Remember, I have one rule for this portfolio is that I do not own any of these ETFs in any other portfolio. So that was my rule for building this ETF portfolio. So we'll just go through the recap real quick and just see where we stand. And, this week I added the description, right? I always have the symbols, but I wanted to show, for those that, don't look up the symbols, I would just wanted to give a description of each position, and I'll discuss that in a few minutes. So, but let's start off with XLK. We have 0.345 shares. Last price is $230.91. Our current value is $79.66. We are up 13.17% with a cost-based total of $70.39. Also, remember, we just started this portfolio back in April, just FYI. Next is VYM. We have 0.426 shares. Last price, $131.43. Our current value is $55.98. We were up 10.76% on this position with a cost-based total of $50.55. VUG, we have 0.12 shares. Last price, $392.18. Current value, $47.06. We were up 10.24%. Cost-based total, $42.69. DGROW, we have 1.234 shares. Last price is $63.89. Current value is $78.84. We were up 8.79% with a cost-based total of $72.47. SPYG, we have 0.625 shares. Last price is $84.48. Current value is $52.80. We were up 6% with a cost-based total of $49.81. SOXX, we have 0.366 shares. Last price $229.36. Current value is $83.94. We are up 4.37% with a cost-based total of $80.43. SPYI, we have 2.507 shares. Last price $52.02. Current value is $130.41. We were up 4.33% with a cost-based total of $125. GPIQ, the newest addition. We've had this in there a couple of weeks now, but we have 0.212 shares. Last price $48.08. current value $10.19. We are up 1.02%. Cost base total $10.09. Last but not least, BITO. We have 4.75 shares. Last price $19.52. Current value is $92.72. We are down 0.71%. Cost base total of $93.38. And you see the current value of this portfolio of $655.28. We are up now 6.19%. And you see our previous percentage, we was up 5.17%. So we've gained 1% over this last week. So over the last 5 days, we are up 1% in this portfolio. And for this upcoming week, we do have the investing challenges. That's how we're growing this portfolio. It's week 21 of the challenge. So we have $21 that's being invested in this portfolio. And I'm deciding which position is going to get the $21 this month. Last week, we did invest $20 into BITO. So I'm thinking GPIQ is going to get the $21 this week. Let me know what you guys think. Where should we invest our weekly challenge this week, which is going to be $21 because we're in week 21 of this weekly challenge for the portfolio. So which position would you invest based off what you see here, percentage wise, and the allocation and shares and stuff? Which portfolio do you think what position do you think should receive the $21? I think I'm gonna go with GPIQ. So also we have 3 monthly paying positions. I don't think I mentioned it before. I kept saying 2, but GPIQ pays monthly, SPYI pays monthly, BITO pays monthly. Those are monthly paying ETFs that we receive. I think every other position in this portfolio pays quarterly. So early in the video, I mentioned, that I put the description in the video. in the portfolio here, right? In the file, because I wanted you to see what these symbols, the description of these symbols, right? Because how I built this ETF portfolio is how I would build a portfolio if I was starting from scratch, a regular portfolio, right? And so I don't want you to think, oh, he just got a bunch of ETFs and just threw them together. That's not the case. So, I have a rule now, and I've learned this over the years from trial and error. So, how I build a portfolio now is I have 4 simple methods. It's a 4-step process, right? And this is how I built this portfolio. So the 4 steps is, number 1, I want to be able to invest in the S&P. Right. So number 1, I want to invest in the S&P. So if you look at this portfolio, you see SPYG here. And SPYG is a Spider Portfolio S&P 500 Growth ETF. What else we have? SPYI, the ETF Trust S&P 500, right? So that's number 1 for me. I want to be invested in the S&P. And if you look at the current value, you see this SPYI has the highest current value right now. Number 2, I want to be invested in growth. The growth is growth stocks. If it was, stock with tech, that's how I build a portfolio. I start now with the S&P, then I want that growth / tech in my portfolio. Right, so let's take a look here. XLK, it's a technology sector ETF. What else do we have? VUG, the Vanguard Index Fund Growth ETF. What else do we have? SOXX. This is a semiconductor ETF. So when you talk about NVIDIA and things like that, it's part of this ETF. So now that I have also the newest addition, GPIQ, is the Goldman Sachs NASDAQ, which NASDAQ, that's tech, that's highly tech favored uh, and that's part of the growth in tech in this portfolio. So we have the S&P, we have our growth with XLK, VUG, SOXX, and GPIQ. Number 3 on my list after the S&P 500, tech slash growth. Number 3, now I want income, right? Now I want income. So let's take a look here. You have VYM, Vanguard, Whitehall, FDS, high dividend. You have D-Grow, iShares, Trust Core, dividend growth. So now I'm focused on the income, right? Not to mention all these paid dividends, but just to give you a breakdown, let's say if it wasn't an ETF portfolio, right? So that's number 3. You have the S&P, you have the NASDAQ. I'm sorry, you have the S&P, you have the growth tech, which consists a lot of the NASDAQ, but you have the S&P, growth slash tech. Number 3, you have income. And then number 4, right? If I have to have a fourth one, I've already laid the foundation, then that fourth one's going to be high risk, right? It's going to be speculative, right? So the speculative position in this portfolio is the last one left. It's BITO. It's the ProShares Bitcoin ETF. I actually said, do you believe in Bitcoin? Do you think it's going to be around for a while? I do. So that's my speculative play in this portfolio. And that's why I chose to add the ETF to the portfolio. And we have 4.75 shares. It does pay monthly. It pays a pretty nice dividend as well. So that's why it's added to the portfolio. And right now, and it's going to go based off how Bitcoin goes up or down. So we're down 0.71%. I mean, that's perfectly fine, right? And that's okay. This is a portfolio built for the long term. And even as I do with my normal Bitcoin, if it goes down, we buy more. If you check out a video a couple of weeks ago, I think it was down 9, 10, or 11% on this position. Now we have almost break even. And during that time, we've added to the quantity and we've added to our dividend income. So I just wanted to give a brief breakdown of how I build a portfolio. I have 4 steps: S&P, I have growth slash tech, I have income, and then you have your speculative plays or slash high risk play. And this strategy has been working for me with my other portfolios. I have a portfolio that I started last year. Last year with the same format, it's up 47% right now. Right now, it's up 47%. Some of the positions in that portfolio, FX, AIX, Meta, NVIDIA. You see what I'm saying? You see how the S&P, you see how the growth going on there? So, that's just the strategy that I put into play for this portfolio. So, and how we're going to do it, right? We're going to get the value of this portfolio probably to $1,000, right? That's kind of my threshold. You go in, you put in the work. We have the investing challenge. I want to get the value of this portfolio to $1,000, and it's going to start. Now, I ain't gonna say taking care of itself, but it's going to start working for itself. You're going to start letting the stock market do what it do. But we're going to keep this investing challenge going as long as we can, but we're going to build it up definitely to $1,000. And that's kind of my sweet spot where it's like, okay, now it's time for the portfolio to work, And then after that, we're going to start on our next portfolio. We're going to start on our next portfolio. And I'm thinking the next portfolio is going to be, I'm gonna challenge myself, something different, right? Because most of my other portfolios, I built it up like how I wanted to be as far as the structure. Now it's just feeding it. You're just feeding it. And now when you have the portfolio filled with dividends and income, they're feeding itself. They're feeding itself now. So this next portfolio is going to be an all weekly dividend paying portfolio. So everything in the portfolio is going to be paying it's going to be paying weekly dividends in the portfolio. So I know 5 positions that pay weekly dividends. So I'm thinking about the 1st of January, because I'm still working on this portfolio right here. About the 1st of January, we're going to start that all weekly dividend paying portfolio. I'm just going to see how it goes. Right. So, and here's the thing, like, I know you say, oh, you have too many positions, such and such. Why don't you just get 3 positions or 4 positions and be done with it? And it's like, that's okay if you want to do it that way. I don't believe in having a bunch of positions in one portfolio. So I want to make sure I'm clear on that. Like a good portfolio to me is 8 to 10 positions. 8 to 10 positions based off the 4 steps I gave you, or, for me, the 4 steps for me, that's a strong portfolio. And I can feed each position the way it needs to be fed. I won't have any stragglers in that portfolio, at least while I'm building it up. And then it's going to start taking care of itself, right? And my strategy for this is it's like building a business, right? So the strategy I'm taking for this, even this ETF portfolio, it's like building a business. Where if you're starting a business from scratch, you as an owner, you probably have to be in on the day-to-day operations of that business. You're probably going to be there 5 days a week, making sure everything's running how it needs to run. And that's what we're doing with this portfolio right now. We have our weekly challenge, making sure it gets fed, making sure certain positions are getting fed each week, and, making sure it's getting run the right way on a day-to-day basis. But after you've established that business and it's running on its own, what do? You're looking to scale. You're looking to scale your business. And to me, the stock market is a business. And I'm looking to scale the business always. There's many different ways to make income and to win in the stock market. It's been proven. The returns have been proven. The S&P has been proven. The NASDAQ has been proven. So don't limit yourself on what you can do in this stock market. So we're putting in the ground level work right now with this ETF portfolio, and then we're going to look to expand to something different. And our next portfolio is going to be the all weekly paying dividend ETF, and that's going to be around January. So right now I only know 5 positions, and it might be some more out there. I know the round hill positions, there's 3 of those. Then you have YMAG, and I think YMAX or something like that pays weekly. So, but by January there may be something else. So we'll see what it's looking like then. But right now we're going to continue building this portfolio. We're on week 21 of our weekly challenge, so we have $21 coming in. And I'm trying to see where I want to invest that this week. Maybe, like I said, maybe GPIQ might get some of that love this week, or SPYI, one or the other. One of those two is going to get some love this week on tomorrow. So on Monday, I should say, when you're watching this video. But yeah, that's mainly what I want to give you guys. Just giving you the ETF portfolio update. And just a little background of how, my mind goes as far as my thought process as far as building these portfolios out. So probably a little bit different than the normal strategy. But, sometimes you got to be different, and it's been working so far. So let me know what you guys think. I always appreciate feedback, whether you agree or disagree. That's fine with me. Everybody has an opinion, and I'm open to everybody's opinion. It's just dialogue, right? We're in this stock market, this stock talk. As long as you are taking the necessary steps to build your portfolio and whatever way possible. So just let me know what you guys think. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I really appreciate it. And I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just giving you my thought, my opinions on my mindset on how I go about things. So but yeah, remember, man, If you don't do anything else, always invest in yourself. Always invest in yourself. Find the extra dollars to invest in yourself. And that's it. I will talk to you guys later.